The path were the Montreal Expos. The Dodgers had every reason to be optimistic against the Expos in the League Championship Series. After all, the Dodgers had lots of experience in such games. The Expos had none. And the Dodgers had won 9 consecutive games and 18 of 19 from the Expos at Dodger Stadium. Nothing was done in Game 1 to dim that optimism. Ron Cey returned to the lineup to deliver an RBI double in his first at-bat. And Pedro Guerrero and Mike Scioscia socked home runs in the 5-1 Dodger win. The streak and a surprisingly effective Ray Burris caught up with the Dodgers in Game 2, a 3-0 Expos win over Fernando, no less. Having gained the split they sought in Los Angeles, the Expos went home to Olympic Stadium with renewed confidence, even though their home record against the Dodgers was hardly better than their road mark. That confidence was further enhanced in Game 3, as Steve Rogers went the distance in a 4-1 victory, putting the Expos within 1 win of their first ever pennant. But the Dodgers had their Mr. October, Bert Hooton, ready to go in Game 4, despite just 3 days' rest. Hooton, Bob Welch, and Steve Howe, the trio employed by manager Tom Lasorda in Game 1, stopped the Expos on 5 hits. The Dodgers banged out 12 in a 7-1 win. Steve Garvey's 2-run homer of Bill Gullickson snapped a 1-1 tie in the 8th. And Dusty Baker's 2-run single keyed a 4-run ninth that iced the win and evened the series at 2-2.
So Dusty is 2 out of 3 in this one. And now batting with the infield double play depth, and the Dodgers have already hit the 2 today. The pitch to Baker, and it's a strike called, 0-1. All right, Baker waiting, trying to get one he can drive. At least a scoring fly ball. A base hit, of course, would really help. All right, Baker waiting. Here's the windup and the pitch on the way. And it's a bouncing ball. Hit up the middle. Base hit. 1 run in. Here comes Thomas to score. The Dodgers lead 5-1. So Baker's 3rd hit of the game breaks it open. And the Dodgers are out in front as Yeager scores. Thomas scores. And Russell stops at second base. Here comes Fanning, and that will be all for Fryman.
Fernando and the Dodgers got a second crack at Ray Burris after a 1-day rain delay in Game 5. The Expos broke on top in the first inning, but Fernando took matters into his own hands in the 5th, driving in Rick Monday with the tying run. The scene of Monday crossing the plate was to be repeated with 2 out in the 9th inning. Steve Rogers, the winner in Game 3, replaced a tiring Burris in the 9th and retired the first 2 Dodgers. But Monday stepped to the plate and stroked perhaps the most dramatic of the many dramatic home runs he's hit in his celebrated career.
A 1-1 tie, a dandy ball game to settle the championship. These 2 clubs have put on a great series, win, lose, or draw. Here is the 3-1 pitch to Monday. And he hits a high fly ball in the left center field. Backboard goes off on the way back. This ball has a chance. It is good! Home run for Monday! Over the center field fence. And the Dodgers lead 2-1, and they're out of the dugout all over him. Monday hits one over the center field fence. And the Dodgers lead by a score of 2-1, and they're killing him as he comes off the field after circling the bases. Rick Monday, on a 3-1 count, hits a home run over the center field fence. Dawson kept going back, and it jumped over that fence, and the Dodgers are in front 2-1 in the 9th inning.
Afterwards, Rick Monday recounted his home run.
I had a pitch, the first pitch, fouled it straight back, and I was thinking to myself, especially against Steve Rogers, who is an exceptional pitcher, you're in trouble, Mo, because you're not going to see another ball to hit out of the ballpark, because he moves the ball around so well. And I was very surprised at 3-1, got a pitch that I could handle and hit the ball out of the ballpark. And it's one of those things, I know he's thrown it to me before, but you can get that. Mo. It was no cheapie, Mo. You hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark on a very damp and cold day. So it was a tremendous home run, not only with the impact, but the way you hit it. Ross, you've been with this ball club long enough to know we don't worry about the odds. We don't worry about the weather. We try and play good baseball, and whether or not we win or lose, if we'd have been going back to L.A., it would have been with our heads very high.
Tom Lasorda.
I'm just so exhausted. What a win. I tell you, we beat a very, very tough and stubborn club, Ross. They just wouldn't quit. And I'll tell you, I want to thank God. And as I said before, we're dedicating this whole season to Peter and Annette O'Malley. They're the ones that we're so very, very proud of. And these players are just outstanding. And I want to thank all our fans. for the support they gave us. What a year.
Tommy, a gritty performance by Fernando today under adverse situations.
Well, let me tell you something. If someone said in July you were playing the 5th game of the playoffs to get to the World Series, who would you want pitching? You'd have to go with him. It's been Fernando all year. He's had a great year. Happy Hooten got us into this thing with some big games. Jerry Royce pitched great all year. And I don't want anybody to forget the performances of Happy Hooten and Jerry Royce.
Peter O'Malley.
We have a lot to be thankful for, honestly, and I'm very happy for the ball players, their wives, their families, everybody in the Dodger organization. It's an exciting time. Great feeling. We've worked hard for it.
Pedro Guerrero.
We came all the way over here and lose the first game. We was behind 2 games and come all the way from the back and win 2 in a row. That's great. I feel great. I feel happy. I can say that my dream came true because since my first year when I came up to the big league, I was dreaming about playing a World Series against the New York Yankees. So my dream came true.
Steve Yeager.
Say, this is one happy clubhouse. We just can't party too much because we don't have a day off tomorrow. We're going to go right to New York tonight and open up with the Yankees. Hopefully we can take 1 out of 2 there, hopefully 2 in a row, and come back to L.A. and win it for a change. You know, most of us in here have been together for a long time. We've been in 3. Seems like we've always been bridesmaids. I like to be a bride just one time before my career is over.
Fernando Valenzuela.
Así es, pues lo primero que me pasó fue llegar aquí en el primer año de Grandes Ligas, después llegar a un juego de estrella, ahora a una serie mundial.
Yes, it is. You know, the first time that happened to me was to arrive to the major leagues. This is my first year, then to pitch in the All-Star game, and now in the World Series.
Especially against the New York Yankees.
Especialmente contra los Yankees.
Así es, pues contra un equipo bastante fuerte, pero como está el equipo de nosotros, yo pienso que con mucho entusiasmo vamos a seguir adelante.
Yes, against a very strong team like the Yankees. By the way that we have been playing, I think we're going to keep